Hi, so today we're in our Schubert-Ferney Vineyard and we're just wrapping up our pruning for the season. Pruning for us starts around February and we wait till the coldest part of the winter and then we check the buds to see how many are alive and how many survived the winter. And we did pretty well this year. We had a little bit of bud damage on some of the varieties, but most everything's okay and it all seems manageable. But we're just wrapping up our pruning, and just to explain why we prune, we have to cut off all of the extra growth and leave just the amount of growth we need to create the crop load that we want. So we want to be able to have a crop that the vines are able to ripen, but we don't want to leave too little, or else we'll get a lot of extra, leaves and foliage that we don't want. So we're trying to balance it out just right. So I've already pruned this vine to show what it would have looked like a year ago. So last year we cane pruned everything, and so at the beginning of the season we're left with just a single cane on each wire, and each one of these buds is going to grow a cane with like 2 or 3 bunches of fruit on it, and it's going to fill up pretty fast. At the moment it doesn't look like there's anything left, but trust me, it'll be fine. So we have 2 methods of pruning that we use on our wine grapes, and one is called cane pruning, which is what this is. The other is called spur pruning. So I'm going to spur prune this vine and let you see what that looks like. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. So let me just prune this up and then we'll talk about that in a second. So with spur pruning, cut off the stuff you don't want, leave some spurs like that, and let's see, I'm going to cut that one off, leave that one, I'm going to take this off, and so that's essentially it. I'm going to cut this low stuff off there. So we've got a bunch of different spurs that stick up from last year's cane. So this cane that's all woody, that's what this cane is going to turn into after one growing season. So we had a little bit of bud damage on the Cabernet Franc, maybe 15 or 20%. So we're going to do some cane pruning or spur pruning, just because it's a lot easier to leave extra buds and see what happens, and then we can thin them out if we need to as the growing season goes on. One of the advantages with spur pruning is it's a lot faster. You don't have to do a lot of extra tying, which we have to do to all the canes if we do cane pruning. So it's faster in the spring when we're pruning. There's more labor involved as the season goes on, trying to thin the canopy out so the bunches can get sun, because the bunches are going to be distributed all through this zone. With cane pruning, it's a little more work up front. So you do all the cane pruning, but then you have to come through and you have to tie everything down so that it's on the wire before it starts to grow. But the advantage is the fruit is in a really compact fruiting zone. It's very evenly spaced, and you have to do less work thinning the leaves out and thinning the canopy so the fruit can get sun and ripen up. So there's trade-offs with everything. But anyway, these are the 2 methods of pruning we use, and we'll show you what goes on as the season progresses.